Welcome everybody to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
and Damon is going to be with us shortly. Um, we took a short, uh,
Sabbatical.
the sabbatical is a little longer than that. We took a mental health day. Let me put it like that. You know, it was a bunch of things going on my end. I was like, well, you know what? I would not want to cheat Strong Perspective Podcast by not really showing up. So, and also I gave my co-host, hey, I gave them a little bit of rest from me. You know what I'm saying? But we're back live every Friday, sometimes on a Saturday, but every Friday at 7:30, speaking our truth, knowing who we want to be, knowing who we are, and always evolving. Man, that's a bar. Um, how's your day today, Jaquan?
My day has been productive, man. Wasn't a mountain I couldn't climb. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had a good day also. And also, we're going to give y'all a little bit authenticity because I don't believe in uh, uh, closed set and all that. You hear that lovely voice in the background. That's the sister-in-law. So, we're gonna allow that. We're gonna let that roll because that show you that we're about we're about the people.
Oh yeah, you can hear my wife
Oh yeah, we can hear.
for real?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Listen, but I uh I want people to understand what we're trying to do here and what we're trying to. You didn't have to ask her to leave, brother. I told you. We throwing a little sprinkle on this situation, man. Our own
I
little.
didn't, I didn't ask for leave. She upstairs. She upstairs in the bedroom talking.
Are you kidding me?
Hey man, we're not gonna make this about my wife, motherfucker. What's wrong with you?
I didn't know my sister-in-law was that loud. I thought she
Mm,
was standing in front of me, pointing the finger
mm.
at
Oh niggas, don't worry about what's going on in my house.
you. I'm not, man.
No.
I am not.
Uh,
But so yeah. So you say, how was your day today, brother? I know I just asked that, but you gotta elaborate a little more, man, because you throw that zinger out there, so people want you to follow up. Give us a little bit more.
Yeah, like I said, it was cool, man. I know I mentioned my job a couple of times on on the platform or whatever, but I work with at risk youth, and good days is good, and the bad days got potential. You know what I mean? Always trying to do what I can to keep my spark to be there. You know, it's rough. It's rough, man. Without getting into specifics, it's it can be pretty rough, man. To be a witness to what's supposed to be a milestone in a young person's life, and that person ain't gonna never see the world again, you know.
Gotcha, gotcha.
And what do you tell this young man?
That's true.
You know,
I get it. I get it.
but
And, yeah, and
yeah.
you know what? And that's a good point. Um, my thing is when it comes to like the action last week, so it's been on my mind for a minute. And
I'm
my
gonna say hi.
question,
No,
Yes, I can.
Jerome, how you doing, brother? Good seeing you. What is it when it comes to this podcast, and my question for anyone who's watching, and we really truly welcome it. The purpose of this podcast, as far as you and I and Damon Jacquari, what do you feel? And really and truly, I want your honest answer. What do you feel your obligation is to show up for these episodes?
Well,
It's a two-part answer. Question.
oh,
That's the first part. And secondly, do you have pressure in bringing your best thoughtful self to it?
I'm gonna answer the second part first because I don't remember the first part. But no, I don't feel any pressure, man, because I really don't do anything to prepare for this, man. So this is who I am, man, and that's purposeful because I feel like my co-hosts are authentic and raw. So that's what I need to bring to the table, also. You know what I mean? And what was the first part of the question again? I'm sorry.
Your obligation. What is your obligation to this podcast, if you have any?
My obligation to the podcast, man, is solely internalized, man. Because if I wasn't committed to it, then I wouldn't show up. Every Friday at 7:30. You know what I mean? It's something that I wanted to be involved in. Basically for my entire life. My entire life. Not a podcast. Obviously. Because I was born in 1972, but being able to speak my piece. You know, not necessarily in a safe space or a place of non-judgment. I mean, I don't care nothing about that. I've been judged my whole life, and I ain't never been safe. You know what I mean? But this is an opportunity, man, for people who I'll never touch to hear my voice, and maybe we can find some common ground. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. When it comes to the only obligation I have to this is, some people venture into for fame, recognition, if there's any money in it. Also, I tell it all the time. I started this first. I started talking about this with one of my good friends, Demetrius Gore, God rest his soul. And I told him that I wanted to do something along these lines. And he sent me information. And he said, well, look, this is something that you want to do. Here's some stuff that I know that you can go about doing. And that kind of sparked my interest because you and Damon and friends like Demetrius, where I hold that the opinion in high regard, I see that you see me. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it sparked something. And then the second thing was, I get to do it with my brothers, because we started this during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And what the pandemic did was show me how important family is. And it's just my own personal thing. It showed me how important family is. It's the connection of family. So to be able to see you guys, because we used to do it with me on Thursdays. When we first started live, we used to meet on Thursday nights and then go live on Fridays. You know what I mean? And see y'all twice a week. That was good shit. You know what I mean? And the three of us still do, but Thursday is a little more informal than anything. Even if we have new guests, I don't want to, unless I'm paying them, I don't want them to feel like they need to show up on Thursday. because I will send them the topics that we're talking about early in the week so they can be prepared. And then
Mhm.
topics is not a cheat sheet. What it is the fact that I'm letting them know because it makes sense when you know what you're going to be talking about. So you mentally going to be prepared to be about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, just the finish it up. But have you gotten any feedback about what we've been doing here?
Uh, Outside of a couple of people who I've invited on as guests or whatever. I mean that I've told people like, like my coworkers about the podcast or whatever. But I mean I haven't gotten any outside of what you tell me and what Damon might say.
Okay.
But I don't at this point. I don't think I necessarily need it
The
because I mean
validation.
I
Okay.
yeah I mean it is what it is, man. And as a side note, man, somebody told me, man, whenever a person says it is what it is, man, it's a dangerous person. It's a dangerous statement. You know what I mean? Because that they well, I don't know. You can figure it out.
No,
But yeah, it is yeah. I don't care. I'm not going for anything, man. I could be somebody different. I could be somebody different, man. But not when I'm off work, man. Fuck that, man. I'm relaxed now.
yeah.
You know, I'm in my home. My setting, my backdrop probably will never change, and that's fine with me.
Yeah. I tell you, I was talking to somebody, and they was really trying to be snarky and sarcastic. And
Hmm.
they said, "Yeah, I know you do it because it feeds your ego, knowing that people are watching you." And I stopped them. I said, "Whoa, whoa, hold on. First
Hmm.
and foremost, my ego is gigantic, and it don't need to be fed. It's self-sufficient.
Hmm.
Meaning, sun feeds my ego. When I feel the sun, when I feel myself watch, fuck it. When I feel the moon, my ego is being fed because I think a lot about myself.
Hmm.
And the reason why say I think a lot about myself is because the only person who could ever make me feel bad about me is me. I'm going to repeat that back to you. The only person that can make me feel bad about me is me. Meaning,
Hmm.
whatever's coming on the outside, if I let it affect it, if I let it affect me, if I let it affect me, it's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. I'm like, ego. And you've not paid attention, and it's somebody I've known for several years. You have not paid attention to any conversation you have ever had with me. My
Hmm.
ego, my self esteem is freaking gigantic because it has to be. Because when I grew up as a person, my self esteem was not fed when I went out into the world. It was not fed by the world. It was not because it was always someone trying to keep their power. You know, I can easily make it out of a white and black thing, but I'm not going to do that. But it was always someone trying to keep their power. So what would they do? They would say things to me and try to make me feel a certain way. Not being paranoid when I say this. I'm talking about in general with people in our community. Everything that we saw on television. I was born in 1964. Everything I saw on television when it involved a black person, It was weak. And when I saw a strong black person, they were sacrificed in the movie. They were sacrificed on TV. You know what I mean by sacrifice, right? I'm talking about the black person always died first. You know? In a movie, always died first. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
but
Coming down through the
but
whole movie.
yeah, but in a horror movie, seriously, man, and I've always wanted to say this: in a horror movie, at least a horror movie, man, it's it's certain shit that you're not gonna have to deal with if ain't no black people around.
What do you mean?
Just certain nigga shit. I mean, like
What the hell? What are you talking about? Trying to survive a
nigga
whole
shit,
month? What do
nigga
you mean?
shit, man, nigga
Like
shit, man.
what?
Like y'all, like everybody trying to get away from the knife wheel and goddamn slasher man or whatever, and the black man cracking jokes and shit. Looking at the white women and shit.
What?
We can't we,
Oh my God. Am
we
I
can't we
talking?
can't we
Am
can't
I,
have that.
am I talking about? Am I talking to Uncle Ruckus or am I talking about Jaquari Armstrong?
What what?
What do
Oh
you
my
mean looking
god!
at the white? What do you tell? What movie was you
Oh
on?
my god! You know, Facebook, YouTube. I I, uh, I strongly apologize for any toes I stepped on. I was trying to be funny. Thank you.
No, you did a good job, man. This shit was funny. Um, but that's my point though. It's the fact
Yeah.
that we were raised by women and men, strong men, who said, "Look, you have to be 3 times better," and it was a fact. A baby boomer. I'm the last year of a baby boomer. You know what I'm saying? You and Damon, Generation X. And I don't believe in that shit, but my point it's as far as a reference of what we, the three of us, saw in news, right? What we read in the movies, our everyday, we had to have a strong constitution.
Mhm.
You feel me?
You said a little while ago, that the world didn't feed your self-esteem, man, but it still had to eat. It still had to eat, man.
We still
Well,
had to eat.
yeah. So what happens to a lion that's held in captivity in a zoo? It's got to be fed. He loses something.
Would you say
You know,
you expecting that fucking
he expects him to
zebra?
be fed.
Yeah. I know you're supposed to drag that to me, man, and wipe my lips when you come.
Yeah, yeah. Ain't no salt and pepper on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, like when you grow up hard, bro. I mean, like I said, don't nobody feed you, you gonna starve. So you gotta turn to a hunter. You
You
have to.
have to. You have
You
to.
know.
And there's different versions of hunting. There's
Yeah.
hunting where you're going after things and you're ignoring everything until you achieve your goal. But there's also that version where you go to work and you learn everything about it, even though they're against you because of your color. I'm gonna bring that up, but because people, Damon always call it's tribalism. Of course, you gonna go toward your light skin tone because that's what you're comfortable with. I'm not making excuses for the fuckery, right? But I understand it. But the thing I didn't understand is, and this is my own personal experience, my skin tone, it made it very difficult to find allies in the workplace. So what I decided to do is become a universal ally, meaning, hey, I come to work every single day, but if I can help it, I'm not gonna see you fail. You ain't got to like me. but I'm not gonna see you fail. Not because of being embarrassed. Who gives a that always pissed me off too, bro. I'm jumping around, but that always pissed me off too. Where yo, you making us look bad. What the fuck? No, he making himself look bad. Who gives a fuck?
Mhm.
When you run into people that judge you off of what somebody else did, them people ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah. The people who try to explain, uh, the people who try to explain away behavior that they feel makes us look bad, those are the people who look bad.
I
You know what I mean?
look.
I think it is, man. It's like, it's instead of like if you take into account let's say, I don't know what they call it nowadays, but ebonics, the way black people are, talking America or whatever. Black people are very intelligent people or whatever, and some of us, we have southern draws. Some of us don't enunciate properly, man. But when you don't pay proper and close attention to the message, man, you look like a fool because you probably just got the answer. But communication standards, in today's society, man, blocks you off from that because the words ain't pretty.
But and I agree. But you brought up Ebonics first, and fucking, I was a young man then when they first wanted to make that a thing,
I
right?
think it's called, yeah. I think, and I think they call it something different now. I don't know.
No, no, but here's the thing: trying to make excuses for us as a community because we talking slang and we talk this, that, and other, right? But look, nowadays it's called what we're adapt at now is code switching.
Yeah,
You
urban
know,
urban speak.
first and fucking foremost, you do know how to talk to somebody. Period. I don't care if you speak in slang,
Hmm.
but you are able to be heard if you want to be. You get me? But my opinion about that is people take shortcuts. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But my thing is, I'm, I'm trying to get the problem solved. I don't care that you don't you say them and them
don't
and
matter.
what the is he right? Is he
Yeah,
right? What?
yeah,
But see, that's my thing. That is a weapon where people in charge, not white people, people in charge choose to throw on you so they can stay in control. You understand what I'm saying to you? See,
mm,
we always put it on white. The majority of the motherfuckers who doing this is white. That's why we put it on there. You feel me? But it is people trying to stay in control. And guess who's in control right now? You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. Like, so
yeah,
I know we kind of went off subject a little bit, but that was pretty. That was a nice little ride, though. We were just having fun with it. Um, but the Ebonics things, man, because I'm a learner, right? And first they were like, yeah, this is gonna make it easier for black kids and all this, but then they gave the credit to black educators,
mm,
right? And I'm like, well, how is it gonna make it easier if you teach somebody slang words? How's it making it easier for the kids? Are the kids gonna learn better? Right?
mm,
It has not to me, it's just my opinion at the time, it has nothing to do with the kid. It has a lot to do with, hey, excuse us, but we talk different from you. So why don't we give you a book and let's put it in curriculum so you can understand us better? No, they always understood us. But they ignored us because we're not like them. Now here's the crazy thing, and I'm gonna put this. And you tell me what you think about this. You ever see the movie Mandingo?
Hmm.
The most authentic slave movie, other than the bullshit, the breeding, not all of that shit. But did you ever hear the white folks speaking in Mandingo?
I can't remember it.
All broken English.
Oh
Folks,
yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking
if you ever believe me, yes, that's black exploitation and all this, but whoever made that movie, they tried to make it as authentic as possible, right?
about. Hmm.
The language.
Yeah, yeah.
Now they talk about how black folks don't know how to talk, right?
Hmm.
Guess who was teaching them how to talk? If you
Yep.
see Mandingo, you'll see the broken English, the cutting it off, in which they attribute to black people. But the
Hmm.
but the people who are in bondage had to learn English from who? And that's
Europeans,
just a
yeah.
little side note.
And it all, yeah. I mean, when the slaves got here, they spoke whatever language, uh, whatever language of the land it came from.
Yeah,
So black people being, natural mimics or whatever, we use the words of the people who was around us.
yep,
Poor English people, who were probably in digital service at the time, right?
yep.
So yeah, that's who we got it from. It's not a black thing at all.
But they want
If
to
you go,
put it
if,
as a black thing, though, right?
yeah, if you go to West Virginia and talk to a white person in the Walmart and close your eyes, you think you're talking to a southern black person
Because
in some
that is
cases.
that is the regional, the slang, the inflection, it's regional. Period.
Yeah.
I'm saying, um, let's just do this. This is a good segue, to be honest with you. No, I'm reaching a little bit, but let me ask you this, Jaquari. Is there a difference between being a nice person and being a good person, right?
Hmm.
And I found a definition to really and truly help that question along. It says a nice person is a yes person, whereas a good person is a person who accepts their responsibility in things and moves forward. So I go back to the question again. Is there a difference between being nice and being good?
I mean,
In your opinion.
in my opinion, you can't have one without the other. In my opinion, you know
Okay.
what I mean. But uh, in my mind, I'll just say I deal with a lot of other people's shit. You know what I mean. So it's so much shit that I'm willing to take from people. Well, not really willing to. Cause don't nobody do nothing to me. You know what I mean? Uh, I be in my own little bubble, man. And when I leave that bubble, it's usually pleasant. You know, and I don't know if it's a stretch, but most of the people I'm around, most of the people I work with will probably say that I'm a nice guy. You know what I mean? And I used to correct people and tell them what I thought was my truth because I'm not a nice guy. I'm not a nice guy at all. What I am is a person who values peace and comfort in my area, in my immediate area. And I do and say and treat people in a manner, man, that would hopefully achieve hopefully achieve that peace. You know what I mean? If
Mhm.
that's not the case, then that's just what it is. That's just what it is, man. I don't have a lot of a lot of middle ground. That's why I say I'm not a very emotionally intelligent person. I'm not. But I value it. I value I value and respect emotional intelligence. You know, I value and respect people who can regulate themselves, man. 'Cause that's the hardest thing in the world for me to do. You know, and it's something that I struggle with. So yeah, I'm nice. Almost to the point of affable sometimes. But then when I turn the corner, in the past I could be unreasonable.
Of course.
So finding that middle ground for me is it's a daily task. Now side of that coin, man, being a good person.
I mean, Jaquari, what you just did, you described being a good person. A nice person will accept the BS. A good person will accept the BS to the point where they're tired of it. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, I can see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying to you. Now, this is not saying one is better than other. Don't get me wrong, guys. It's not that. What I'm saying to you is, where do you see your personality at? Now, you gave us your opinion about it, and me personally, I'm on the lines of I'm a good person, but I don't suffer fools. That's why I'm in that good person category. A
Mhm.
nice person will like, hey, you know what? I know he's having a bad day. I know she's having a bad day, or she don't know no better, or she don't know what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? A nice
Mhm.
person will will not react, but make sure it goes smoothly. A good person wants it to go smoothly and will do whatever they can, but they get to that point like, yo, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, man. I don't want to burn the bridge, but I carry matches, bro. Fuck it,
Yeah, yeah.
I yeah, I can only go so far, man. And for me, man, it with age came a I want to say major mindset switch to me, man, because there's nothing wrong with being nice. There's nothing wrong with being
No,
nice, but
not
people
at
don't
all, man.
people
Not at all.
people don't respect nice.
I, I, I'm cutting you off right now because I'm gonna say I don't give a fuck what people respect, man. Honestly,
It
I
matters though.
no, it don't matter. It don't
Well,
matter, in my opinion. I'm not disagreeing with you, but go ahead, brother. I'm sorry I cut you off, but go ahead.
yeah, man. But I'm, like I was saying, for a lot of years, man, nice for me meant that everybody, puts you in the box of where, okay, he's uh he's not a threat, and that offended me, and
Mm,
I don't know why
gotcha.
it offended me because for the better part of my life, man, as I said before, man, I thought I was going about situations to where people would be relaxed around me, but it is what it is. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to change the world with my opinion. You know, so I had to kind of rethink some things, man. Kind of
Okay.
rethink some things, man. And I remember some people in my past, who I might have shared some very some very familiar traits with, but I didn't necessarily look at those people, with respect because they were nice. Although I'm just it's a personal opinion.
No, no,
Although they were nice,
yes, sir.
although they were nice in whatever space we happened to be in at the same time, they were effective.
Hmm.
They were effective because they were good at regulating their emotions.
Good point.
You know, and as I said before, man, I have an immense amount of respect for people who can do that because it's not always easy for me.
Yeah, I think. See, and that's the thing about it is at an early age, I value my opinion over everybody else's opinion. So when you guys hear me say I don't give a fuck, that means not that it is in a hostile way. No, your opinion only goes as far as when it does not serve who I am as a human. You see what I'm saying? Because everyone has opinion, including myself. But that's your own personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's amazing, first of all, because we go through our everyday life for the most part by ourselves. We might have our loving mate. We might have our loving children. But really and truly, you go through your shit by yourself.
Yes, sir.
So when it comes down to what somebody else is just me, when it comes down to what somebody else thinks about me, if it doesn't serve my overall well-being, I gotta say I don't give a fuck. It might sting a little bit when I say I don't give a fuck because I might really admire that person.
Hmm.
But when you put me in that position where you have not heard me out and you have not really and truly tried to understand. You don't have to understand me. You put up an effort to understand me. I gotta say I don't give a fuck.
Hmm.
Look, you my man, you my girl. You know what I'm saying? But yo,
Yeah,
you know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying? That is what it is. And see, most people who know me, like you and Damon and some other people, they know that I am a hardliner when it comes to shit. But when I go out into the world, I walk in compromise.
mhm.
I walk in compromise. You know what I mean? Because it's it makes things go smoother. But when it's time to be that roadblock, that's when I also stand firm in that roadblock because it suits me as a person. Because as a person, I deserve just as much as everyone else. You deserve, Jaquari, just as much as anyone else. Anyone that watches this and Damon deserve just as much as anyone else. But when you try to take, if I try to take from you because I'm in a selfish moment, I'm in the wrong. I mean, like you and I and Damon and our many guests, we get in here and we talk about us. We talk about ourselves, right? Of course, we can get on along those lines of solving problems, give you our opinion about solving problems. But what we do is we promote self awareness and communication. But isn't it funny, Jaquari, that either falls on deaf ears or people just can't comprehend the two things that I just said.
Or maybe it's just too much. I don't give a fuck in the world, Keith.
Yeah, look, look, but bro, that's the funny thing about it is individuals, in my opinion, individuals have the right. say they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, everybody got the right to. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this is a question to you. Do they have a right to complain after they say they don't give a fuck? If something don't go their way. Kind of a trick question, but I just want to hear your response.
Well, I'm gonna say, damn, damn. No, no, they don't, man. No, they don't. Not really. No.
And see, that's the human part of things. It's
Hmm.
like we get caught up on the extremes. Either you about you, right? Or you about the community, right? But nobody can understand the people who try to stay in between.
Hmm.
Either here or you either there. And my thing is, my answer to your question is, I might sound hypocritical, but if I say I don't give a fuck and I want to complain about the thing that I didn't give a fuck about, why? Why can't I? You know what I'm saying?
I, I mulled it over, man. I mulled it over. You know, but see, stat on it, goddamn it, stat on it.
Yeah, you know,
No, no, you're right. You're right. I mean, yeah. Well, actually, yeah, you do got the right to complain about it, Keith. That's what, yeah.
always.
Especially, yeah, especially, especially if it bothers you. Absolutely.
If it bothers you, because you might have an answer, even though you
Hmm.
might have been on this stance. Everybody has the right to change their mind,
Hmm.
but the way that we move, especially in our community, we act like we don't. You know what I mean?
People put an awful lot of weight on opinion, man, on their own opinions. They put an awful lot of weight and merit on their own opinions, man. Seriously. I mean, especially in today's society when people's, small opinions matter, because small opinions matter, man. And that's the worst fucking formula for society to work off of, man. I mean, seriously. I mean,
Is it?
opinions are opinion is ether, man. It's nothing, and they can be changed
They can be changed.
on a whim. But how much of how much money is based on opinion, solely on opinion?
Oh shit! I
You
lied.
know how much the
The
standards
stock,
of the
the
day.
stock market is opinion, but go ahead, Jaquan.
Yeah, the standards of the day. In everyday neighborhoods, man. How much of that is based on opinion, and young folks is dying every day over opinion. And
How
then
how they think
and
people would see them,
huh?
how they think people see them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And more than likely, things that they're doing to be seen in a certain light is a trend, and
Yes.
it's going to change. That's why I say opinion is ether, man. You know, there's some very good opinions, man, and there's some awfully bad opinions.
Yeah.
And they well, I don't want to say that. I was about to say they shouldn't all be heard, but
No, no.
I'm not I'm not a,
Everybody should
I'm
be
not
heard.
a I'm, yeah,
But
I'm not a Republican, so yeah.
listen. All right. Let me just say this. Everybody should be heard. But as soon as I smell the BS, I'm gone.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? See, I don't have a problem with you expressing to me how you feel. But guess what? I'm going to tell you how I feel, and I'm going to reinforce why I feel it. Don't just throw shit out there because your ass is in a bunch about some dumb shit.
mm,
Excuse my language. but you upset about something. So it was the wrong time to ask. You know what I mean? Like, say, let's just simplify it. Mean drunks. The majority of the time, mean drunks are what when they're sober, Jacquard, in your opinion?
Nice people,
The
good
nicest
people.
fucking people you ever met in your life, right?
Yeah.
But when they're mean drunks, they, for some reason, I don't know why, whatever, for some reason, they want to verbally hurt someone
Hmm.
or physically hurt someone. And really and truly, they can't really articulate why they're that way. And I bring that point up to say that everyone has the opportunity to change their mind. But if you got something to say to me, and let me put it like this. I used to get into some working law enforcement. You run into, and I'm in the South, run into some hickory boys. Got their own opinion about pecking order as far as race is concerned, right? In many years, I've had conversation with them when they wanted to be clever, when they wanted to stereotype stuff that they heard, no proof about it, but stuff that they heard.
Hmm.
But since you were one of the good ones, Armstrong, what do you think? Until you hear me speak and you become afraid of the actual knowledge that I have about you and me.
Hmm.
Because you hateful people only believe the BS because they want to. Hateful people only believe the BS because they want to. Even though they can see that it's bullshit on what they believe in.
Hmm.
It's amazing to me. I'm like, dog, wait a minute, man. Am I in the middle of a fucking cartoon? Because,
You know,
go ahead.
no, I've had a couple of those conversations, man. You know, and I really like to see where they go. I
Yeah.
really like to see where they go. You know what I mean?
And they
Not saying that.
usually talk themselves into a damn roadblock.
Yeah, yeah. And not saying that I would, waste my time befriending somebody like that,
Mhm.
but depending on position, we can talk. It's okay.
I have no problem with having the conversation.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, when you make a mistake and not see me either on equal or higher ground than you,
Hmm.
that's when you tear your ass. Now, I said earlier in this episode, Corey, my ego is fed by the sun and the moon. That's what feeds my ego. So I think highly of myself. I think so highly of myself, I will look you in your eye and say, I don't know. It's true.
Hmm.
I don't know. Tell me. See, and that's when you fall into a trap because you rehearse different responses to what I'm going to say and all this. And if I don't know, I'm going to expect you to teach me. But there's always a failure. You want to know why? I think because human beings can't help themselves. The smarter they are, not intelligent, Jaquan, the smarter they are, the bigger holes they dig for themselves.
Each and every day.
Every single day. Intelligent helps you to adapt to your surroundings and the world. Smart is what you learn, your capacity of learning.
Mhm.
Nah, it ain't talking about your capacity of applying. You know what I'm saying? No, you know it. Apply it. You know,
What do you put? What do well? I don't know if this is going to be an appropriate question, but what do you put? What do you put more value in? Do you put more value in uh, a repetition or adaptability in regards to learning?
now there is value in repetition
Mm,
because if you are in a mechanism and is dependent upon for that mechanism of flow, mentally, physically, the flow, right?
mm,
Cool, right? But adapting is being able, this is my opinion, being able to learn from scratch and to be just as good or better because you have the ability to adapt to what's going on.
mm.
So they have different values in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
depending on the situation.
Yeah, repetition. Repetition provides stability, and structure,
It does.
and a cushion, and a cushion up to up to a point. But adaptability, man. I mean, it's adapt when you go into a situation and you know you're going to have to adapt. Failure is neck and neck with success.
Yep.
You understand that you're going to fail. In some cases you're going to fail bad, but without those failures to learn from, you might as well, find yourself a nice, cushy system to work in.
Yeah.
People who adapt, eat, they eat,
Yeah. I mean, you think about
if they do it right.
adapting has a lot to do with when you fall, how long you lay there.
Mhm.
As long how long you lay there. And when you stand up, what the fuck is your plan? Do you
Yeah.
plan to fall again? Maybe, but I know how to get up. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Where, just repetition, it's like, yo, if two things is out of place and you in your mindset, you're used to, okay, I can deal with one thing, but
Mhm.
two, three, now we got to completely stop and I got to find it.
Mhm.
That's a little bit of adaptability, but the point is the mechanism stops. It stops without a plan.
Yeah.
Adaptability,
Yes.
you always have a plan B.
Mhm. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think.
I think, all right, we added some things. I'm going to save this next one for later because I think it's a good subject, but right now we're an hour into our situation and I'm enjoying the lines that we are in. But my question to you is, in your opinion, and I know I can count on you to give me your honest opinion, and you know that you can do the same with me. In your honest opinion, is there a divide between black men and women? Right?
Mhm.
If yes, what do you think the root cause of it is? If no, where do you think the narrative is coming from, that it is a divide.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I do believe there's a divide, between black men and black women. But that's not necessarily a negative thing. There's always been a divide. You know, there's, you know, well, for me, I said it before on this, on on a different podcast. For me, I feel like, in some senses, in some senses, black women, are like in a period of evolution that black men, ain't ready for. They're evolving. Black women are evolving. They've been evolving for the last 20 years. Hell, probably even longer than that. You know, uh, Independent black women, strong black women. Those didn't used to be negative things, but they're negative titles now for some reason. You know, uh, you can't be a person as a man. You can't be a person, man, who you know has got your own suitcase load full of bullshit, man, and not expect somebody you trying to deal with to have a have just as big a suit, just as big of a load than you had. Everybody, like you said it earlier, man. Everybody got their issues, man. Everybody's got their issues, Everybody's got their standards. Everybody got shit that they're willing to deal with and willing to accept. It's not that person's fault because they're not willing to accept it from you. I've been in relationships where, in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, you accept that shit from another person, but you can't accept it from me. So what is it about me that makes you want to categorize me like that?
Mm.
And I always, you know, felt like it was a negative thing. But uh, if I wasn't enough of a, if I wasn't aggressive enough, if I wasn't this enough, or if I wasn't that enough, that wasn't my problem. My problem was, sticking around and not paying, good enough attention to see that it was a problem for her,
Mm.
you know, because as soon as she acknowledged that it was a problem for her, then she started making it a goddamn problem for me, So sometimes shit ended bad, you know, but it is what it was. It is what it is.
You know what? I will say that it's a compound answer. If you relied on podcasts, uh, romance novels, black romance novels, um, BET Plus shows, if you relied on those things, then there is a divide.
Hmm.
But I also say, on the other hand, if you look and see with your own eyes every single day, even though your view is small, my view is small. It is where I live, the city I live in, right? At the time. If I choose to see that and see and count couples, you feel me? I'm
Hmm.
not talking about what's going on behind the doors. I'm talking about the link ups, the people who are together. You feel me? Who are
Hmm.
together, then I'd say it's not one. You feel me? And really and true to reinforce it is why, and I'm not picking on BT, don't get me wrong, because it's entertainment. They want people to watch. So what do? They go to the extreme, right? They want to create controversy. You know, what's my man name? The big 6'5" uh, cross-dressing dude. What's his name? Tyler Perry, right? Tyler Perry is a man, but he has no idea what a man truly is. You can tell by his characters. They are always flawed. Now, he may be just entertaining women with his stuff. This might be his spill. I'm just giving you an example. This might be his spill, right? When it comes to music, how we got Megan Thee Stallion, which I don't understand why she calls herself a stallion. The stallion is a male horse, but it is what it is. Megan Thee Stallion, sexy
Megan the Mayor, Megan the Mayor don't sound good.
No, that do sound good. If you pay
Megan the Mayor,
Megan the Mayor. Yeah,
okay.
but it is what it is. That's just me. My opinion is not. It's just mine. Cardi B. I'm talking about our music and what we're hearing. The women are, and I'm not being approved when I say this, I'm just pointing it out. The women are independent and hypersexualized, like the men are, right?
But I mean,
they have an audience because
when haven't they been? When haven't women ever been hypersexualized?
Come on, bro.
They always have been. And I'm not being chauvinistic. I'm not being chauvinistic, man. I'm just saying that like now.
Been conservative though. That's what I mean by hypersexualized. Like
so you're equating conservative with public image.
That's what music is. That's what the industry is. Public image.
No, I'm outside of the music industry. I'm talking about our community. Period.
Now we can get to that. I brought those folks up because that was our music. Our music is that way.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I divided it, did BET and all this, and then I said every day what we see. Yeah. We don't see that on the left. We don't see. I take that back because I don't want these motherfuckers thinking some political shit. But on this side, we see the entertainment thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hypersexualized men. Oh, look at my chain and look at me and blah, blah, blah. No, fucking clown ass shit. It's clown because all they do is rap about what they got, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not rapping about the dream to what they had, how to dream to get there, now, you know what I mean? Like, look at me instead of, damn, look at me and where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not critiquing the music. What it's saying is, this is what we're singing here, right? And then what we see every day. What we see every day. If a woman walk in the gas station, right, with some workout shit,
mm-hmm.
right? Booty bouncing, breast jiggling, all that, right? And the guy say something out of the way. It's not a video, is it? She gonna look at him like, man, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. She got a purse, she going in a purse, whatever. She's offended. But the video is like, yo, you got a chance with me in this video. You feel what I'm saying? That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. The real life and the fanciful life, you know?
Yeah. And just to clarify, man, I wasn't trying to earlier, my statement earlier, man, I wasn't trying to paint black women in a certain light that I think they're, overly, sexualized or anything like that, because of who they are. No, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying was it's always been there. It's always been there.
No. no
You
doubt,
know,
no doubt, but not as much.
that
It's a
no,
daily
it's always been there. They the but in the past, there's been shame attached to it.
no doubt.
That's why they that's why artists like Megan Thee Stallion and Sexy Red are popular now because they say what Uncle Luke was saying back in the '90s. It's an evolutionary thing, man. I mean, is uh is this bravado coming from female entertainers, the sexual bravado coming from female entertainers a new thing? No, no,
No,
it's sex sells. It's always sold.
always.
It's always sold. In every community,
Look,
in every community, man.
porno has gotten so popular it became free. That's how much money it makes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's how much money it
You
generates. But go ahead,
yeah.
Mr.
My point is, oh man, you can't demonize this group of people, man, because they want more for themselves, man. And then when they achieve more, you want to penalize them again because you're not quite matching what they got going on.
But
That's the case.
I hope what I said was not no. I'm not demonizing anything. You're going for your bag. I think it's unnecessary. But the thing about it is, I'm talking about real life and that life. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Hmm.
Real life, what you see every day. You may want that fantasy shit. You may want that. Don't get me wrong, right? But really and truly, what you see every day is different. It is different.
But at what point in your life, Keith, has art never imitated life?
As far as the way I dress,
As far as society as far as society goes, period.
but here's one of the things, and this is where I'm stuck on, and just to let you know how I see it, the art form, everything is made easy, right? Where you go up in the club, right? You go up in the club, or you go on a vacation with your dream girl. You know what I'm saying? Y'all waking up eating breakfast, eating ostrich eggs and scrambled ostrich eggs and shit, and you on that, right?
Mm.
But real life is like, yo, you could do this, but that's gonna cost you $5,000. Do you have $5,000? The reality of it. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm really speaking on more than anything, because that's where we're stuck at, in my opinion. Where we're stuck at. We're stuck on that fantasy shit that's been made to look easy. Just like, fight scenes in a movie. Now, I'm not just this is an example. This is not to my point. This is an example.
Hmm.
Fight scenes in a movie where them motherfuckers be going blow, poo, poo. I mean, I'm talking about slobber knocking, pow, pow, all across the face, and they standing strong. Come on,
Hmm.
dog. Come on, man. You've been in a real fight. Is it like that? You know what I'm saying?
No, no. But the movies make that shit easier though, because people, delusional people think that's how that shit gonna go, and you
That,
can you can tidy a motherfucker up real quick.
that's my point, bro. That's my point. More than anything, that's my point. It's like, you know what? I get it. And this is not a what do you call it? This is not an indictment on what's going on. My question was geared toward what we actually see and what's actually shown to us. Because they trying to make money, man. You feel me? They
Yeah.
trying to make money. Look, and that's my thing though. Um, when we see ourselves being like, okay, this is full disclosure. I was a police officer and I was listening to NWA. Fuck the police. On my off days, that shit was on 10 while I'm driving down the road. Right? But you want to know why? Not because it was something that the fantasy was fed to me. It's because when I was growing up, either me or somebody I knew actually uttered those words. Fuck the police. You feel what I'm saying? Because what Ice Cube said, a nigga get it bad because I'm brown. We was always affected by it. Wherever you and I and Damon live, we was affected by the police and how they thought about us and our interaction. Right? It got to the point where this music and all these things, right, where when you was a gangster in the 60s and 70s and 80s, you hid it. You wasn't no rock star. Motherfuckers didn't really, only 1 or 2 people said, I want to grow up and be a pimp. I want to grow up and be a drug dealer. There's only a couple people who said that. But think about it. Think about the way that the industry has romanticized it, where people say it and they grew up in the fucking suburbs. I want to be Tony Montana. You mean the motherfucker who got shot up about 200 times at the end of the movie? So you have a death wish?
I'm gonna tell you what, man. You know the movie Superfly,
Yeah.
the first one with Ron O'Neal.
Yeah.
I didn't see Superfly until I was 22, 23 years old. Up until that point, I thought Superfly was a detective. I didn't know he was a dope dealer. Every black man that was older than me who had seen Superfly up to that point recommended that movie, man, was so influenced by that damn movie, man. I thought he was a hero. And he was a hero, but he was a fucking dope dealer. He was a fucking dope dealer because this mega keen plan to get out the game.
Get out
Well,
the
what the fuck was he in the game for? Because he was in Harlem and that's all they had in Harlem. Well
yeah.
shit, get the fuck out of Harlem.
Look,
I enjoyed the movie, man. But I was let down, man. I was like, damn, I guess Shaft it is. I ain't want to be,
be honest though. Everybody loved that movie because Curtis Mayfield's soundtrack was the shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I look up to a certain point. Like I said, I didn't see the movie till I was 22, 23 years old. But when I was a little kid, shit, I seen pictures and I was like, shit, I want that Ron O'Neal hit. I ain't give a fuck that it was thin, and I ain't know nothing about that. It was long. That's all I want. Like fuck.
Bro, you look at Superfly, bro, what good? We would
I mean,
come on, man.
I get it. I get it, man. I get it. I get
Okay,
it. I mean, but black people historically, black people have always found a way to be entertained by their trauma. Always.
and okay, I accept that. I accept that. But the key word was entertained by what? Your trauma.
Trauma. Mhm.
Entertain is the key word. It's entertainment. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying, Keith?
Yeah.
Like, okay, come back, welcome back, Charleston Blue. Right?
Mhm.
What was what's Fred Williamson's joint? Um,
Hammer. I don't know. No.
Hell Up in Harlem.
Hell of Harlem, Little Caesar, and all them shit.
Yeah, Little Caesar. Bro, they were all
Black
Black Caesar.
Black
Uh,
Caesar. Oh my God.
he said Little
What have I
Caesar.
what have I done?
Look, a double. You got a double pizza. No, but
Hmm.
all tragic tales, bro.
Tragic tales. Tragic tales about tragic tales. Hear me out. Tragic tales about a person, man, who got tired of shit. About a person who got tired of getting shit on. So he decided to do wrong and became majorly successful.
Bro.
Now, whose story ain't that? Whose story ain't that?
Oh, see. Now
Whose story ain't that? That's why those movies is popular.
I get it, but you see it differently from me. First and foremost, I see somebody who did not discover. I'm talking about Black Caesar. Did not discover a better way because there were successful black men and women during that time. But this movie industry, like, oh, he grew up doing this and that. He had nothing and blah, 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 and pit, right? Entertainment, right? But it was a tragic tale. How the
Yeah.
fuck how did Superfly overcome it? How did Black Caesar overcome it? They didn't. They lost everybody. And the only way that they were saved, the only way they were saved in all these different excuse me,
God
all
damn.
these different scenarios is I got the syndicate's books. You can't touch me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it just feeds the mindset, though, man. Because by hook or by crook, man. Even if my star burns out, in a couple of years, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna get that, and that's how people still think.
A tragic end, even if we don't see it. So if those movies become popular, what is it doing to the younger generation? It's wrong word. It's conditioning your youth to say that's the only way I can make it out of here. Basketball movies. Because what they started to do is combining basketball with the fucked up reality of the dangers of the neighborhoods, from the police, from the drug dealers.
Hmm.
Cornbread Earl and me. Why the fuck did Cornbread have to die at the end? Why the fuck did it also have to have a black police? You see what I'm talking about, man.
Hmm.
Cornbread, Jamal Wilkes, right, was a great person, period, in that movie.
Hmm.
He trying to get out the motherfucking rain. And you know what's so crazy about it is, and then I come from law enforcement.
Hmm.
In that movie, they just seen the kid running and
Popped it, yeah.
killed him.
Hmm.
Even though they tried to appease it by what? The neighborhood rioting. You know why? Because Cornbread was the best of us.
I mean, you want to put it like that. Why Cochise had to die?
Exactly.
Why Cochise had to die? I didn't understand that, man. That fucked the whole movie up for me, man. It did.
And see, this is a little bit of levity of it, but think about us, me and you, what we got to see as an example when it came to us on film. The best of us was always dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm ashamed of. And I'm joking when I say this, but this is what I'm ashamed of. Glory. Denzel Washington. I became a fan of Denzel Washington. Why did I become a fan of Denzel Washington? Because when that man was being whipped, he didn't utter a sound, but he cried. Now, that was some great, wonderful acting as far as tragic is concerned, right? But what is the imagery, really? Matthew Broderick loved, in that movie, loved black men and women, right? But to his distrust of black men and women had Denzel whipped.
Which is the main reason why in the beginning of the podcast I told you black people had to die in horror movies because we don't want no nigger shit. No, no. But I mean, if you look to find your life's inspiration through any
People
form of
do.
entertainment, man.
People
I
do.
know, I get it, I know, but I mean, you gotta get out. You gotta get out of your town. You gotta get out of your town.
But hold on. Let's just get back to the original question. Is there a divide between men and women? Because we kind of branched off a little bit.
Yeah.
But just to just bring it home, I think we a little bit because we went on the tangent of movies and whatever. But I can also say Tyler Perry and different other black entertainers find it very hard to put regular black men on the screen, television screen. Now, lately, we've been blessed here and there, right? Regular, everyday men and how we react.
Mhm.
We have not seen a lot of that. And
Is that entertaining? Is that entertaining?
but this is my point though. Who watches this stuff? But black men and women.
But what's even more important is who makes it, man. I mean, why you think 50 is doing so well right now?
Because
Because
he's making gangster movies.
outside, yeah, huh?
He's making
Yeah.
gangster flicks. That's it.
But he's feeding his audience. He's feeding his audience.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry is feeding his audience, man. If we as regular black men want to see
Exactly.
us on the screen, then we got to start making the movies. But like I asked you before,
Those movies,
are
you actor, they
are
need to
we
be greenlit though.
are we entertaining enough?
Yes.
Are regular black men entertaining enough?
Yes.
You look at if you look at this app, man, there are
Of course.
extreme personalities, man. People, I'll say like us, you know, it's a bitch for us to find success because we're not over the top. We don't
Good point.
carry our opinions and our jokes, to the nth degree. Now, if we were to do that, then that would put us, in one of those other boxes. We wouldn't be regular dudes.
I got you. But most people want to be. All right. I get your point when you say, "Are we entertaining enough?" Right. But entertainment has a lot to do with being made to feel better about your current situation, escaping your current situation, or when it comes to comedy, having a broad sense of humor, period.
Mm.
Right? The people in power don't think regular black men are interesting enough. You want to know why? Because they never took the time to explore regular black men. So you said, why don't? Now, there's a lot of independent movies with regular black men in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's very good. See, and that's the thing about it is that sometimes women's opinions about black men have more to do with social media other than real life. It has more to do with that.
So
Then you have other women who want to with bad experiences, because men do it too. When they have bad experiences with that person that they were with, social media
so
gives.
so so
Go ahead.
so is it social media? So is it social media or is it personal experience?
I think it's an exaggerated my personal opinion is exaggerated experiences that people gravitate towards. Because how many times have you been surfing through social media, right? Then you run into something that's not exactly your cup of tea, but it is you see it, you've seen it before, and you stop. Let me look at it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You look for things that's more like you than not like you.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to entertainment, when it comes to self-help, when it comes to guruism, when it comes to religion, you look for the things through social media that you have more in common with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, hurt men and hurt women look for hurt men and hurt women on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what fuels it, because it eats. It starts from the small point and it eats. And then it comes back out and it eats itself again. And it's a circle. Then all of a sudden, people don't want to be outside that popularity. Yo, man, did you see blah, blah, blah? Oh, shit, let me click on this.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But the hurt part about it is people only take part of what pain is being expressed. They only take part of this. Now all of a sudden, you hear this shit where black men and black women are not getting along. I think it's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Some black women and some black women and some black men are not getting along, right? But they're not the majority. That's what I believe.
Whether they're getting along or not, man, I mean that that suffering creates community, and that's what they say.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect example, Kevin Samuels. God bless, rest his soul, right?
Mm-hmm.
I say God rest his soul because Kevin Samuels was not a fake guy in this sense. He became popular when he was dogging out these entitled women, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Atlanta. But if you actually research this guy, he did it to men and it didn't blow up like it did it with women. He was a lifestyle coach. And I saw him destroy men before he was on the women thing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him destroy men worse than he's destroyed when he attacked the women. But he became this bad guy because people only fed into it's a man against woman thing. But it wasn't. This dude was just as hard on men that he was on women. He caught fire when they started doing the same thing with women. Because he was a lifestyle coach for men. That was his thing. And that's the thing, is like it feeds. You know what I mean? It's what you see every day. I don't know, man. Bro. You know me, man. I'm a problem solver. I want things to be solved. So when I say that when it's black men against black women, it is an exaggerated thing. It's not the majority. That's why I brought the topic.
The whole conversation, man, you know, it bothers me in the sense that, you know, I mean, ain't nobody, ain't nobody else's community, man, you know, discussing this rift,
You know why?
and it's there.
You want to know why? Because their women are terrified of their men. But go ahead, Jaquan. And no, and it's a stereotype, but go ahead, Jaquan. My fault.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't want to say the conversation has never made sense to me, but it's just certain things that we talk about, and you know, things that we're held to a certain standard to, and we hold ourselves, you know, to these same standards for some reason, man. That, you know, something is going on in our house. You know what I mean? Some sort of, you know, traumatic dysfunction is always happening in, you know, in black people's houses. Everybody's house is fucked up.
Yeah.
So why you know, why is everybody talking about ours outside of our community? You know, I mean, people pull up statistics about black homes all the time,
Yeah.
all the time, man. When's the last time you guys, you know, got the same information from the census about white homes or Spanish homes or Asian homes or whatever? And when was the last time you guys, you know, took the opportunity to discuss these stats on fucking Fox News? You
Mm-hmm.
don't. You don't. You know, it's just, the issue is, man. You know, shit. We need to be a, you know, we need to keep things a little closer to our chest, and the world needs to stay the fuck out of our business.
We got to trust each other first, man. We don't trust each other long enough to actually have some movement.
You don't got to trust nobody as long as ain't nobody fucking nobody else over.
Good point.
You don't necessarily need trust.
Good point.
Just
You know
don't fuck me over.
what? You're right, because in the white community, there's no trust. But what they do is they have a goal and a camaraderie in which they stick by. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Mhm.
my opinion. I think when you grow up, especially in the South, you grow up right beside a black family, and you guys are either lower middle class or poor. You grow up right beside them, and somebody convinces you, especially when that family has helped you, right?
Mhm.
When somebody convinces you because of your color that you're better, or convinces you to hate them because of their color, how strong is your mind, man? And look, I'm generalizing, yes, but how much am I generalizing? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it don't. It doesn't make sense. That's all.
Everybody's always needed a boogeyman, though. I
And
mean, white people, yeah, white people got us and we got them. I mean, and you know,
but do we got them?
circumstances be that, huh?
Do we got them? Because we
It's
want.
hard to say sometimes,
Yeah,
man. It's hard to say. I mean, I can't sit here, as a rational adult and say that, hell, half of the issues in our community, is still their fault. You know,
blah, blah.
do certain. I mean, let me finish. Do certain conditions that exist? Yeah, yeah. But
I mean,
yeah. Well,
I've
I don't know.
always felt this way. I understand what is looming, what was looming, what still is looming. The thing I don't understand is there is no cooperation to build a foundation for us. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Mhm.
I'll give you an example. Whatever your political affiliation is and your loyalties lie, why does Donald Trump have a chance to win a second presidency? Why? Now you can talk about his sheer stupidity, and folks, if you're a Donald Trump, you cannot deny some of the dumbest shit that he says, right? And it ain't a black white thing. It's the stupidity of it. Why does he have a chance? Why is he the Republican nominee right now? It's because you decided that he is your best choice, even though you know he is not your best choice.
Mm.
This is the example I'm giving you. How they come, they this is look, they ain't just white people, like-minded people come together and choose this man because of his, I don't want to call him, I don't want to say stupidity. I think his bravado. Because that's the only thing that's appealing about the man. He says dumb shit and don't care.
Mm.
Now, this is not a black white thing. This is motherfucking logic. Like, yo, this man said when he was the president for 4 years, he said dumb shit and didn't care. Right? But guess what? He's on the ballot. You want to talk about galvanizing? You want to talk about cooperation? We see it.
Yeah.
And there's no logic behind it. You know what I mean? That's all. There ain't no political, that wasn't no political statement. And it's common sense. Like, oh, wait a minute, man. Help me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, well, Jaquar, you were working, man. And you have rode this ride with me for an hour and 40 minutes. And it has been a joy.
Yeah, it's a good show, bro.
It was a good show. I thank you for all your comments and everything. And I was comfortable enough to give my opinion. You was comfortable enough to give your opinion. That's what's up.
Mm.
I want to thank Robert Michener, people in the Raleigh area. Robert Michener is a great human being, retired sheriff deputy. He has his Children Foundation. Great guy. You know what I mean? Jerome Hall, Battle of the Badges. Go back and watch that episode when we had Jerome on. Battle of the
Yeah.
Badges, great guy from B-More. Great human being. Continue on. I see somebody, now this got to be somebody we know, but you got your tag up there on YouTube. Say, what up, brothers? So, what is it? Fat Chat 66?
What is it?
Right, I just put it on the screen. So that's a great point.
Yeah.
No, who is this?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I'm asking them. Put your name up. Tell us who you are so we can give you your credit. That's a great saying though. The same thing to make you laugh will make you cry.
Mm-hmm. Laugh now, cry later. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. But this is a strong perspective podcast. I didn't say it earlier. I should have said it, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Go ahead and go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. We here every Friday at 7:30. Some days on Saturday, but hook or crook, this is our consistent day. You know what I mean? My brothers and the different guests that we have, they give up that day for us. You know what I mean? Because Friday, man, that's the end of the week. I'm retired, so every day is my Friday. So I appreciate you, Jaquar. I appreciate Damon. You know what I mean? And our many guests. Let's keep going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. And we'll see y'all next week. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all get with me. If you want to come on come on for the episode, come through, hit me up. I'm gonna make sure you get on because what we do, we promote conversation, we promote conversation, we promote communication, we promote listening, and we like to interact. We like to interact, guys. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? If we blow up one day, that's what we do. If we don't, it's what we do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But this is always going to be a platform where folks can speak their mind and really and truly talk about it. Now, if you get on here and you say some out of the way shit, do us a favor. Back it up. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in you just saying some shit and then you don't reinforce it because it don't make sense. All you're doing is trying to be heard and get attention. Well, get attention the right way. All right. Well, my brother, like I said, it's always a pleasure. Damon, we'll see you next week, brother. Any last words, Jaquar?
Hey man, it's been a wonderful show, man. I appreciate your time and your patience and everything. And hey man, if Wars B has been your favorite tune, man, do what you can to change the song.
That's real.
Live life.
That's real. My last words is see you next week. The Strong Perspective Podcast. Go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Build our numbers so we can reach other people. You guys have a great weekend.
Peace.